Flight cancellations are climbing amid the government shutdown. A deadly UPS crash grounds cargo planes, and the most popular baby names of 2025 are revealed. Plus, today's trivia question: how is the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree selected? It's Sunday, November 9th, and this is the Flyover Podcast. Welcome to the Flyover Podcast, taking you above the noise for an unbiased, high-altitude view of today's headlines with daily coverage that's honest and refreshing. Let's cruise the news and land the facts. Good morning and happy Sunday. I'm Amy Hess, your weekend host. With the holidays just around the corner, we all know what that means. A lot more shopping. But here's something interesting I heard this week. Target has a new company-wide policy that requires employees to greet every customer with a smile and a hello and to make eye contact within 10 feet, something they're calling the 10-4 rule. So I'm curious, do you think that kind of friendliness would actually make you more likely to shop there? Or does it matter? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm eager to hear. Okay, we've got the news you need to know, so let's get ready for takeoff. First up, flight cancellations are expected to rise. The FAA plans to gradually reduce air travel by up to 10% if air traffic controllers continue calling out in higher numbers during the ongoing government shutdown. On Saturday alone, more than 1,700 flights were delayed and 870 canceled as over 16 air traffic control facilities across the country reported staffing shortages. Meanwhile, senators are working through the weekend for the first time since the shutdown began 40 days ago. GOP leaders have signaled some openness to a proposal from a small group of moderate Democrats to reopen the government in exchange for a later vote to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credit set to expire at year's end. Next, cargo planes are being grounded after the UPS crash in Kentucky. Boeing has recommended that FedEx, UPS, and Western Global ground about 70 MD-11 aircraft following a UPS cargo plane crash in Louisville earlier this week that killed 14 people. UPS has temporarily grounded part of its fleet, and FedEx confirmed it's grounding its 28 MD-11 planes. Investigators say the cockpit voice recorder captured a bell about 37 seconds after takeoff thrust was called, though it's still unclear why. The plane was carrying 38,000 gallons of fuel bound for Hawaii, which contributed to the massive fire after the crash. And finally, the most popular baby names of 2025 are here. Olivia takes the top spot for girls and Noah for boys, each for the third year in a row, according to babycenter.com. Rounding out the girls' list are Amelia, Sophia, Emma, and Isabella. For boys, Liam, Oliver, Elijah, and Mateo. A few vintage names made a comeback too. Josephine returns for the first time since 1943, Vivian since 1934, and for the boys, Arthur and Nathaniel are back in the top 100. We've got a link to see what other names are poised for a comeback in the show notes. Now let's check the day's top financial headlines. American household debt has climbed to a record high, topping $18 trillion in the third quarter of 2025, reflecting rising balances across mortgages, credit cards, auto loans, and other consumer borrowing. Next, fast food chain Wendy's plans to close about 300 stores in the fourth quarter, just a year after shutting down 140 locations as part of its ongoing cost-cutting and restructuring efforts. And Rivian has approved a new pay plan for its CEO worth up to $4.6 billion over the next decade, tied to profit goals and reduced share price milestones. All right, here's how the markets closed overall last week. The Nasdaq slipped 3.96%, The S&P 500 was down 2.23%. The Dow was also down 1.49%. Bitcoin dropped 6.57%, while gold went the other direction, rising 0.58%. Now, here are some extra stories just for you, our podcast listener. You won't find these in the email. First up, the U.S. will boycott this year's G20 summit in South Africa. President Trump announced Friday that no U.S. official will attend, citing violence in the country. The decision follows his earlier choice to skip the summit himself, and now Vice President J.D. Vance has also canceled his trip. On Truth Social, Trump called the situation a, quote, disgrace, and said the U.S. would boycott the event, quote, as long as these human rights abuses continue. Next, a hero with 4 paws is getting national recognition. A retired therapy dog with the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department named Sergeant Bo has been honored as America's 2025 Hero Dog by the American Humane Society. Bo, once a shelter pet, was recognized for comforting children after the 2023 Covenant school shooting that claimed 6 lives. His handler said Bo rode school buses and stayed with students as they reunited with their parents, offering calm amid chaos. American Humane CEO Dr. Robin Ganzert said Bo's work is, quote, a beautiful testament to the healing power of the human-animal bond. Want to see this canine hero and the other furry finalists? We've got a link to see them in the show notes. And finally, travelers are looking for new adventures in 2026. A new report shows Americans are skipping the usual tourist trails for more meaningful, lesser-known destinations. Limon, Costa Rica tops the list with a 286% surge in searches, praised for its Caribbean coast charm, national parks, and vibrant culture. 2 U.S. destinations, Vail, Colorado, and New Haven, Connecticut, also made the top 10. As one travel expert put it, it's, quote, about choosing experiences more than just the destination. Other trending spots include Jaipur, India, Bodrum, Turkey, and Madeira, Portugal. Still ahead, a closer look at Jenny Craig's rise, fall, and comeback, and later, the story behind a bizarre Antarctica discovery nicknamed the Death Ball Sponge. But first, a word from our sponsor, Cozy Earth. You know, the holidays can get a little hectic. The shopping, the travel, the to-do lists. But for me, the best moments are the quiet ones. Curling up under a blanket with my family, the tree lights glowing, and just being together. If you're looking for a gift that really captures that feeling, Cozy Earth has you covered. Their bamboo pajama set is lightweight, super soft, and sleeps cooler than cotton. It's perfect for those cozy holiday mornings or cold winter nights. These are absolutely my favorite pair of pajamas. After our discussion in the comment section from yesterday's show, now I have to decide if I should fold these up and actually put them under my pillow tonight. I'll check in on the rest of the results from our poll about where you keep your pajamas to see what you all do, but I actually wouldn't mind folding these up on top of my pillow. They are so soft. I'm actually putting another pair on my Christmas list because that can be kind of hard to shop for. So I'm trying to make it easy for my family. And here's the best part. Right now, Cozy Earth's Black Friday sale is already live. You can stack my code FLYOVER on top of their site-wide sale for up to 40% off. They even give you a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty, though honestly, once you try it, I doubt you'll want to give it back. So if you're starting your holiday shopping, this is one of those gifts that is guaranteed to make someone's favorite list. Wrap the ones you love in luxury with Cozy Earth. Head to CozyEarth.com or click the link in the show notes. Don't forget to use the code FLYOVER. Time to check the scoreboard. Japanese baseball star Munetake Murakami has officially opened his 45-day window to sign with a Major League Baseball team after 8 standout seasons in Nippon professional baseball, where he hit a record 56 homers back in 2022. Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels has reportedly avoided major ligament damage after his arm injury on Sunday Night Football, and the team says they'll reevaluate his return after their Week 12 bye. And the NFL has another busy lineup today. It starts with the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Minnesota Vikings at 1. Then the Los Angeles Rams face the San Francisco 49ers at 4:25, with first place in the NFC West possibly on the line. We've got the full NFL schedule linked in the show notes. Now it's time for Whatever Happened To. The part of the show where we answer those questions that pop up every now and then, the ones that make you wonder, hey, whatever happened to them? Today we answer whatever happened to Jenny Craig. In the 1980s, the Jenny Craig brand of frozen, ready-made food for dieters became a sensation in the United States after being launched in Australia by Jenny Craig and her business partner turned husband, Sid Craig. Jenny herself became the face of the brand. It had a powerful hook: portion-controlled frozen meals plus one-on-one coaching. The company grew fast and went public in 1991, but its rapid rise brought regulatory problems, as did its flirtation with fen-phen weight loss drugs shortly before that combo was linked to serious heart risks and pulled from the market. Still, the brand had a core strength: Jenny Craig herself, a sympathetic mom who had struggled with weight issues. That changed in 1995 when Jenny suffered a jaw injury that left her temporarily unable to speak, prompting her retirement as the company's main spokesperson. Nestle bought the company for roughly $600 million in 2006 and managed its decline for a time. But in 2023, the Jenny Craig brand declared bankruptcy and was acquired by Wellful, the parent of Nutrisystem. It's now a direct-to-consumer, digital-first service, meals shipped, coaching online, no storefronts. As for Jenny the person, she and her husband Sid, who died in 2008, became significant philanthropists. They committed millions to Fresno State University, whose business school was named the Sid Craig School of Business. More recently, in 2022, she pledged $5 million to the National World War II Museum in New Orleans to create the Jenny Craig Institution for the Study of War and Democracy. Now 93, she's noted as being passionate about supporting military families. Were you a Jenny Craig customer? Let us know in the comments. Here are some other headlines we thought you'd like to know. Cornell University will pay $60 million and adopt the Trump administration's civil rights interpretation to regain $250 million in suspended federal research funding. Meanwhile, Pfizer has struck a $10 billion deal to acquire obesity drug developer Metsera, beating Novo Nordisk in a fierce bidding war and gaining a foothold in the booming weight loss drug market. Over in the tech world, investment in undersea cables is expected to hit $13 billion by 2027, with Meta, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft funding projects to keep up with global AI data traffic. And finally, down in Antarctica, scientists on a research cruise have discovered 30 previously unknown deep-sea species, including a carnivorous sponge named the death ball sponge. That sounds pretty scary, but actually it looks like a collection of bubbles. You can see it with a link in the show notes. Time for poll position. Yesterday we asked, where do your pajamas live during the day? Here's how you answered. 24% said hanging up. Another 24% said other. 19% said in a drawer. 13% said on a chair. 11% tuck them under the pillow. And 9% admitted they're still wearing them. We had a lot of those comments on our YouTube channel from yesterday's podcast extra. If you saw it, you know. If you didn't, go watch it. It's really interesting to see these poll results. I would be with the 9% if I was in my cozy earth PJs because they are absolutely amazing. Okay, today's question is a festive one. Have you ever visited the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree? Your choices are yes, no, or I'd like to. You can vote now with the links in today's show notes, and Ayla will have the results for you tomorrow. All right, time for today's trivia answer. Do you remember the question? It was, how is the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree selected? Each season, Rockefeller Center's head gardener, Eric Pouze, spends years scouting for the perfect Norway spruce. Symmetrical, full, at least 75 feet tall. He often finds them by chance or through public nominations, and once he spots the right one, he visits the owner to request the tree's donation, usually when it's nearing the end of its lifespan or has become a safety concern. The more you know. That's a wrap for today's Flyover. Thanks for spending part of your Sunday with me. If you haven't already, be sure to sign up at jointheflyover.com to get all the latest stories and links sent straight to your inbox. It's free. It's easy. All right, Ayla will be back with you tomorrow with more headlines and a fresh poll. Until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, thanks for flying with us.